Hey everybody, this is D Hunter, bringing another action figure review. Today, we're going to be looking at the McFarlane DC Multiverse DC Rebirth Martian Manhunter action figure. This is another member of the DC Rebirth Justice League, finally getting a team put together. It's taken 2.5 years. Between this guy and Aquaman, we almost have all the members we need. Still need Wonder Woman, Cyborg, and Shazam. So let's check out the packaging. As you can see at the top, 22 moving parts, McFarlane Toys, ages 12 plus, DC Multiverse Martian Manhunter. Here he is in the package. No traditional accessories, simply a display stand and a collector's card. He's in his modern costume. Martian Manhunter from DC's Rebirth. Martian Manhunter. At the bottom, got a bunch of credits, and there is a barcode in case it helps anybody. On the back side, here's Martian Manhunter post up, and here are a bunch of other recently released McFarlane DC Multiverse figures you should check out. I ordered my figure from GameStop. It was in stock. Got him and Superman for free shipping, and here he is. So without further ado, let's open him up. Alright, now that we got this figure out of the package, here he is with all his accessories laid out. He doesn't come with any traditional accessories, just a display stand and a collector's card. But before we take a look at those, let's talk about and check out the actual figure. So this is Martian Manhunter in a more current or modern look. His real name is John Johns. He's from the planet Mars. His weakness is fire, and he's going to be a new member of the Rebirth Justice League. So let's take a look at him. Starting with his head here, looks pretty good, kind of flat at the top. Goes back to a little point back there. His eyes are red. Kind of looks kind of evil, but we all know better. This guy is almost as powerful as Superman. A lot of powers. His cape attached with these giant yellow clamps here. Going back, it looks fantastic. Moves very well. He's got that signature sort of X across. His old school outfit, quite a bit different than this. And a little bit hokey to today's standards, but I'm still a sucker for it. You can see the sculpted muscles. He's got black pants. Little, I don't know, drapey thing here, double jointed knees, double jointed elbows. Overall, he's looking pretty good, and I'm very happy to add him to the team. And just a closer look at his head or face sculpt. Looks pretty good, pretty serious. You could probably even add this figure to your Zack Snyder's Justice League collection. Now there is a gold label of Martian Manhunter coming out as well, but I don't really have any info as to what the differences will be. Look at those cheekbones. There have also been some rumors that Martian Manhunter glows in the dark. He most certainly does not. I don't believe that's a gold label version either. I've seen a couple of photos online, but I believe that was just somebody pointing a UV light at him and some of it bouncing back. I mentioned how powerful Martian Manhunter is. His abilities include shape-shifting, telepathy, flight, invisibility, phasing, super strength, and Martian vision. And just a little bit of trivia. Martian Manhunter made his first appearance in Detective Comics number 225. Of course, he's starting a Batman title. Now let's check out his accessories. And let's start off with the boring stuff. Here's his display stand. Typical McFarlane stand. Black perfect circle. It says DC on the bottom. He's got one peg for the peg holes on his feet. Very thin. Very basic. Here's his collector's card. As you can see, it's an image of the figure of Martian Manhunter. Bunch of red behind him. Martian Manhunter from DC's Rebirth. On the back side, you have a little description. If you want to read it, go ahead and pause now. Now that we've taken a pretty good look at the figure and his lack of accessories, now let's check out his height. From bottom to top of his head, he's standing at about 6.9 inches tall, which can translate to about 17.5 centimeters. Now let's check out his articulation. Starting with his head here, of course, it can rotate from side to side. He can look up about that far, down about that much, not too much there. Can tilt his head from one side to the other. Give him a good amount of personality. Shoulders on a ball joint, goes out a little bit more than 90 degrees. Up, down, around, all that good stuff. He's got McFarlane's butterfly joint between his shoulder and chest area. Just increase the range of motion there. Bicep cut. Double jointed elbows. Going about this far. biceps blocking a little bit. His wrist is ball on it, can rotate. It's going to be hinged as well. His torso, it's got a ball joint, rotate around, go forward and back. Pretty nice job, the straps having enough loose to be able to move him around. Another ball joint his waist, rotate around, go forward and back, giving him a pretty wide range of motion. His torso, his legs, they don't go out at 90 degrees, but not too far less. Not a ball joint, but a similar type concept. Rotation is non-existent. Legs go forward about that far. Back, not too much. Double jointed knees below that. Then his ankle has a ball in it. Goes forward and back. Can rotate. Can tilt, rock. And he has toe articulation. Here's Martian Manhunter flying in the skies. And here's a closer look at John Johns. Here's Martian Manhunter flying around the surface of Mars. Here's Martian Manhunter being attacked by one of the white Martians. And before he can even begin to get the upper hand, there's another white Martian coming to join his friend. And here's Martian Manhunter defeating both the white Martians with ease. Now I mentioned before, Martian Manhunter's only weakness is fire. A little can of gasoline here, and you can beat him. It's just that simple. And it's not really that simple. Here's Martian Manhunter on fire. This is his main and only weakness. Now let's check him out next to some other action figures, starting off with some other McFarlane DC Multiverse figures. Now the first question I had, is he one of McFarlane's larger figures, or one of McFarlane's smaller figures? The way I see it, McFarlane pretty much has like 3 different scales. The 3 Jokers Batman is on the taller end of things, and the Rebirth Batman is on the smaller end of things. Looks like Martian Manhunter fits in better with the Rebirth Batman than the 3 Jokers Batman. The Rebirth Superman is a little bit bigger, but not crazy out of scale. Here are all the current DC Rebirth heroes that McFarlane has made. We're finally starting to get a Justice League put together. Cannot believe it took him 2.5 years just to get these 5 characters out there. With the Aquaman coming around the corner from Justice League Endless Winter, we really just need Wonder Woman, Cyborg, and Shazam to have all the heavy hitters. And I would say this 1984 Wonder Woman is the closest to a standard Wonder Woman that they've made so far. Still shocked McFarlane has not given us any normal comic Wonder Woman. And they've made plenty of Wonder Woman figures so far. Here's Martian Manhunter next to the Action Comics 1000 Superman and the Detective Comics 1000 Batman. Fits in pretty good with them scale-wise. Here's Martian Manhunter next to the Lois and Clark Superman. I'm probably going to be referring to this guy as the Death and Return of Superman figure. Now let's check him out next to some other recently released McFarlane DC Multiverse figures. Here he is, next to a couple of Lex Luthor figures. Then, next to Superboy Prime and the light-up version of the Hazmat Suit Batman. And here, next to the Birds of Prey Harley Quinn and the Mortal Kombat 11 Joker. Here's Martian Manhunter next to a couple of Lobo figures. And here he is, next to the Speed Force Flash from Zack Snyder's Justice League and the Reverse Flash from DC's Rebirth comics. Then, next to the Batman Beyond, Unmasked Batwoman, and the Atomic Edition of Blight. And here, next to a couple of General Zod figures. This guy's also from the Rebirth. Then, next to the Future State, Dark Detective, and Tim Fox Batman figures. And here, next to the Batman The Dark Knight Returns, Superman vs. Armored Batman 2-pack. And now, next to a couple of Infinite Frontier, Damian Wayne Robin figures. Here's Martian Manhunter, next to the 3 Jokers wave. And here he is, next to some recent McFarlane Mega figures. We have all 3 variations of Swamp Thing and Clayface. Then, next to the Gotham Knights figures, still trying to track down that Platinum Chase variant of Batgirl. And here he is, next to McFarlane's The Batman Collection. Then, next to McFarlane's Batman The Dark Knight Returns, Collective Build Horsewave. And finally, next to the Justice League Endless Winter Collective Build Frost King Wave. Now let's check him out, next to some other Martian Manhunter figures, and I don't have very many. I had an opportunity to pick up the Mattel DC Universe Classics Martian Manhunter on clearance at Walmart one time, and I passed it up. Still regret that to this day. Here's the McFarlane Martian Manhunter, next to a DC Collectibles CW Arrowverse Martian Manhunter, and then next to the Mattel DC Multiverse version. Here are all of my Martian Manhunter figures, and even though the other two that aren't McFarlane are from CW's Arrowverse, they still fit in pretty good for a modern comic Martian Manhunter. Now let's check them out, next to some action figures from different various companies, to see how he fits in both scale and style-wise, in case you want to know which lines you can mix him with. Since he's a McFarlane figure, they're typically the 7-inch scale. I'm going to start off my comparisons with some of the large action figure lines I collect, and work way smaller. And we're going to start off with some of his McFarlane Toys brothers. In front of you are 5 different action figure lines, all from McFarlane Toys, all 7-inch scale. Then, next to some more McFarlane Toys, these are from different various video game properties. And now, next to some Jack-specific wrestling figures. And here he is, next to some DST or Diamond Select toys. Then, next to some DC Direct and DC Collectibles figures. And here, with some NECA figures. Then, next to some Mattel wrestling figures. And now, next to some Jazzwares AEW wrestling figures. And here he is, next to some Mezco 112 collective figures. Then, next to some Mattel DC Universe Classics and Multiverse figures. And here, with some Mafex figures. Then, next to some Hasbro Marvel Legends. And here he is, next to some SH Figure Arts action figures. And finally, next to some Jazzwares Fortnite figures. So overall, this is a pretty nice figure. The sculpt and paint job are excellent, I don't see any issues there. His articulation is everything you'd expect from a McFarlane DC Multiverse figure, except he has absolutely no thigh rotation. His accessories are non-existent, but I can't really think of anything good he should come with. Overall, to rate this guy, I'm going to give him a 7.5 out of 10. Pleased with him, very happy to add him to my Rebirth Justice League lineup. So this is D Hunter. Thank you guys for watching this video. If you liked the video, press like below. If you have anything you want to say about the video, add to the comment section. If you want to see additional action figure reviews from me, press subscribe. I do appreciate when you do that. Once again, this is D Hunter. Thank you guys for watching this video, and I'll talk to you guys real soon.